3 at 3. You know the drill. This is where I give you some unusual option activity, and you have to decide if these trades are appropriate for you. I will get into it right now. Let me just give you a quick update. S&P 25 points higher. Dow Jones Industrials 204 points higher. NASDAQ, clear outperformer yet again, 112 points higher than last night's close. That's a 1.11% move. Triple ones. Bang. All right, let's get started, shall we? 3 at 3, presented by Market Rebellion. And if you'd like to learn more about what we do at Market Rebellion, my brother Pete and I would love to help you out. We've got a team of dedicated traders and instructors that could be a coach for you, could be a mentor for you. You could do distance learning. And a lot of this, the very basic modules that we have, folks, for distance learning, meaning you log in whenever you want and you check out, basic options, trading and so forth, charting, cryptocurrency, futures, whatever it is that might be, we have experts in those categories for you. So to get started, how about that? It's as easy as you just go to marketrebellion.com/get started. That is one more time, marketrebellion.com/get started. And thus we start with the disclaimer, which is that our services are for educational and informational purposes only. Please. All right, another fill. You know, that's the best thing about doing live trading, folks, is that we get fills throughout the session as I'm discussing with you right here. And to all you Robinhood traders who are constantly pinging me, thank you. More power to you. Let's get to it here. Although I love you no matter where you're trading, folks. I mean, Robinhood's great, but if you happen to be at E-Trade, Schwab, TD Ameritrade, Fidelity, Interactive Broker, love y'all. Baba, take a look at this one, folks, because Baba, Alibaba, bullish call buying. So we spotted this at 1:30 this afternoon. It is now 2 o'clock Central Time, so this is about 35 minutes ago. They traded 7,200 of the July 235 calls. If you're new to option, the 235 strike means they have the right to take stock from someone who is short those calls. The owner of those calls has the right to take stock from someone at $235 a share. They paid for that privilege $1.25 to $3.08. Since every option is for 100 shares, that means $125, $1.25 per option, times 100 equals 125, up to $308 per option, with the stock at 229.57. So these are the 2nd of July expiration. Now you might look at the calendar and pull it up and say, 2nd of July, that's a Thursday. You would be correct. The 3rd of July is the Friday. So July expirations are the 3rd, the 10th, the 17th. So why then, might you ask, and I'm sure some of you might, why then would the expiration be the 2nd of July? Well, it's because going into a holiday weekend, the powers that be decided that Friday, the 3rd of July, would be the holiday given for the 4th of July since it falls on the weekend. So that's why, folks. So expiration is Thursday, the 2nd of July, not the 3rd. Nonetheless, those bits of information. How long? Well, let's see. We're coming up on the 26th, which is this Friday. So it would be next Thursday. So in other words, a week and 2 days from right now, these options expire. They paid $125 a piece. They paid up to $308, which means a 10 lot would cost them up to $3,200 or $3,100 roughly. A 10 lot, controlling 1,000 shares of stock. Now, a 10 lot of the stock itself, which would be 1,000 shares, would be $230,000. So when you're looking at that, basically paying $3,100 to control the stock from $235 to wherever it might go versus $230,000, you can see that you can get a little more diversification in your portfolio by trading options. Yet another reason options are so popular. All right, 229.57 when we saw it. Now it's 229.85. So it's trading near the highs of the day right now for Alibaba. And you see that gap that was put in today, basically as we gapped up on the news that the president thinks that the trade deal is still on. The phase one trade deal still on, unlike what Mr. Navarro said last night on Fox. So that's what's going on there. For our second of the 3 at 3, take a look at this one, Apple. And this is a pretty big trade, folks. I know it's only 400 calls, but I wanted to, not 400 in total, but 400 is the strike. Now, Apple surging up to these records that it seems to set every day after day after day, which I love because I've got an awful lot of this stock. It's my biggest holding. So I could come on every day and just root for Apple, but I actually trade other stuff too. However, I did add, based on this, 17,500 of these calls. So another fill coming in. 17,500 of these calls trade pretty aggressively. Nice. For how much money? Well, the right to buy Apple at 400, which as of this particular trade, which was 12:36, just half an hour after the halftime ended. At that time, these calls were trading for $9.28 up to $10.41. You get the idea. $900 for each option. On the other hand, 100 shares of Apple will cost you $36,000. 1,000 shares, $365,000. You get the idea. So this, a 10 lot of these would cost you right around $10,000, right? It's about $1,000 a piece times 10, $10,000 versus $367,000. But 17,000 of these times $10,000 would be 175 million notional, because 175 or 1.75 million shares of Apple would be $175 million. It's a big trade. You need to be aware that somebody wants to control a lot of Apple here, and 1.75 million shares is a ton of Apple. I've got a lot. This is a ton. It's a lot more than me. So that's what the stock at 365.34. Where is it now? 369.88. Call it 370. So in other words, from the time we saw this, 365 to 370, the stock has moved up. Again, 365 to 370. The stock has moved up $5 and has been even higher. The stock's up $11 right now, or 3% on the day. We've had various companies raise their price targets, just shooting 400 and higher over the past several days. Full disclosure to you. All right, let's get to our third of our 3 at 3, and I've got a little lesson in this one. ITCI. I did it on the halftime report, ITCI. So let me see where ITCI is right now as we're discussing ITCI. Shares are $27 a share. When we saw it and when I cited it, as you can see at 11:15 a.m., the shares were $26.23. Somebody steps in and buys 6,200 of the AUG 30 calls. So my thinking here now is AUG 30s. I could get in here and buy these AUG 30s and pay $5.90. But as you already know, $5.90 is $590 per option. That means $5,900 per 1,000 share equivalent, or 10 lot. And what I like to trade, 100 lots on up, this is a $59,000 trade. I like to mitigate some of the cost, some of the volatility component, some of the time decay that are embedded in that option. So how do I do that? Well, one of the ways that I do that is I will buy a strike and sell another strike against it. So that is known as a one-to-one call vertical spread, or you could call it a bull call spread. As long as I own the lower strike and lower price strike and sell the higher price strike, no additional margin needed for this trade. It will just be the net that it costs me to put on the trade. So wait till you see my cost on this trade versus $590. So as you can see, just at 223 and 242 today, I show you the prices that these options were trading for. So I bought the 28 calls in here. I sold the 30 calls. Now you see the big volume at the 30 strike, because if you look over on the right side of your screen and you go down to the second column from the bottom, you see volume, 8,100. That's how many of these have changed hands. That's how I know you Robinhood guys are in this trade, because a lot of them, folks, we can just see those trades hitting like this when we talk about it on the halftime, or when I do it here on the 2 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Eastern, 3 at 3. So what did I do with the trade? I didn't buy these for $5.90, these 30 calls, because like I say, it would tie up $59,000 to pay $590 for each option, which since for 100 shares would be $590. I instead bought these, the 28 calls, and sold these, the 30 calls. Does that mean I'm fading whoever bought these? No. It means that I want better control of my finances, better control of volatility, better control of time. So I paid $7 for the ones that I bought, and I sold the others for $6.40. So when you think about it, my net is 60 cents. Paid 7, collected 640, right? So I'll put my hand like this for I bought at 7, I sold at 640. So you know the difference between those two would be 60 cents. Now that's $2 spread. So I paid 60 cents for something that can go to $2. In option parlance, I paid $60 for something that can go to 200. Who doesn't like those odds? Can I triple my money? Yes. This spread could go to 180, and I've done a triple or a net of 200% on my invested cash. And it can even go higher than that, because it can go all the way to $2 if we're 30 or higher August expiration. Now, I don't have to hold it till expiration, but I like the idea that 60 cents versus $590. So doing this 100 times would cost me, again, $60. That's one contract. $60 times 10 would be $600. $6,000. I'm controlling the upside of this stock between 28 and 30 for $6,000. Who doesn't like that? And who doesn't like that versus $59,000? So I like it a lot. And that's why I'm explaining it to you in detail. Now, where's the stock right now? Well, there you see, basically $27. It's been as high today as $27.64. I haven't traded out of a single one of these spreads, still in them. Intracellular therapies, I'll be in this since these are August, probably close to 2 months, because we're now finishing the last expiration in June, which will be this Friday, June 26th. Then we'll have all of August and almost all of, all of July, and then almost all of August. Bang. Thank you for joining me today, folks. It's always a pleasure to be able to explain things like that. If you need a little hand-holding like that, if you need some strategies that'll make you a better investor, that'd help you take your trading down and your profitability up, well, like I say, instead of $6,000, if you like that better than $60,000, 1/10 of that, and yet I still have monster upside, well, then go to marketrebellion.com/get started. If you'd like to learn more about unusual option activity. You can get that at marketrebellion.com/UOA. That is marketrebellion.com/UOA for unusual option activity. Thank you for joining me. I hope you have a great day. Look forward to being back with you soon, right here on Market Rebellion